This time on Books That Changed My Life.
Pain is not tragic. Pain is magic. Suffering is tragic. Suffering is what happens when we avoid pain and consequently miss our becoming. I resonate with that.
This book is kind of a shift in perspective.
For sure.
And then permission to write your own story.
I was on a show called Dance Moms from 9 to basically like 16 years old. I endured a lot of pain, like physically, mentally.
You really gave a piece of your soul writing Bottom of the Pyramid.
Yes, being young, being on a reality show, in the public eye, the only girl of color really in her dance troupe majority of the seasons. I've had people tell me like it was really hard for them to watch certain things that happened to me. Some of those things that I lived through were hard, but all those challenges made me who I am today. It made me stronger. It made me work harder.
And it didn't kill you.
It made me want it more.
So, big question. How did Untamed by Glennon Doyle change your life?
It changed my life because it got me to
Welcome to the Syndicate X Library, where we love books, especially books that have changed lives. We're joined by a very special guest today. She's been entertaining since she was 9 years old. She's starred in movies, documentaries, and even published a children's book, Today I Dance. Her latest book, Bottom of the Pyramid, is out now. She's here to talk about the book that's changed her life, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Please welcome to the show, Nia Sioux. Did you give a piece of your soul writing this?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's harder than everybody thinks, right?
Yes, it really is. And there's so much that has happened in my lifetime. I'm only 24 years old, but I feel like I've lived like
yeah, you kind of.
so
we
many
were
different
actually
lives.
commenting that you seem like you're like an old soul.
Oh, yeah, I do think I'm kind of like an old soul for sure. Like yes, I'm young, but I feel like I've always just kind of felt like an old soul. Not necessarily like, or like I guess mature, but not always like in a rush to grow up. I don't know. Like
It's kind of the perfect balance.
yeah, it's kind of like the perfect balance. I think I get it from my mom and my nana. They're just like very wise people. But yeah, so the creation of the book was a lot of fun, but also again, like heart-wrenching at times because I had to figure out what parts I wanted to keep in the book and what parts I wanted to take out and what parts
What
were...
parts did you take out?
Oh my gosh. What parts did I take out? Some stuff that like I felt like wasn't as significant, or maybe for a part 2 one day. I feel like I could write so many books about my life, which is interesting. Like, yes, that's a piece of it, but I feel like I can still write so much more.
Was there a part that you cut out that you didn't want to cut out?
Not necessarily.
No?
Not necessarily. I think that like this book is very cohesive and it flows really well. I spent a lot of time kind of like going back to certain moments. So I was on a show called Dance Moms for like 7 years, from 9 to basically like 16 years old. And a lot of those experiences, or like how I felt during that show run, a lot of those feelings are in this book. And
Pretty vulnerable.
yes, so it's pretty vulnerable. I talk about things that happened on the show, but then also off of the show as well, and just like where I was at the time, because again, I was a child growing up in the public eye, and now I'm an adult, and now I'm looking back at these experiences with a different lens, like with an adult point of view. So it's kind of going back and forth between how I felt then, how I feel about things now, and just kind of like diving into all of it, like the mess, the pretty side, the dark side, everything.
Was it your idea to write it, or did they approach you?
No, it was my idea. I'm sure a lot of people did not want me to write this book.
Really?
Yes.
Is there stuff in there that people are going to be like?
I'm sure. Yeah. Not because.
Did you send them all a copy before it came out?
Not really. So I mean, I I've had great support with the book, but I also know that like there's going to be some people that are not going to love it. But that's not necessarily because
Such is life, right?
such is life. It's not necessarily because
It's your book.
yeah, like it's my book. I'm not really like a confrontational person. I don't like drama. I'm not trying to say things to paint people like in a negative light. That's like not my agenda. I just wanted to tell my side of the story and like how I felt when certain things happened, and to bring light to my story. Because on the show I was on, for a majority of the show, one, I was the only Black girl for a majority of the show run. But not only that,
Wait, little white girls can dance?
yeah,
I've
there
never
was like
seen
a group.
this show,
yes,
so.
which is honestly that's amazing. Yeah, so
You don't
there was
wanna
like a
see me
group of
dance.
us. I feel like you'd be a great dancer.
No.
No, okay, I'll take your word for it.
I mean, you know, you have to put work into it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I've had like a lot of experiences during this show that I felt like I had to share. Being young, being on a reality show, in the public eye, being the only girl of color really in her dance troupe majority of the seasons. There's so many layers to it. There's so much to it where I want to dive in that I dove into. And back to my point, some people, they're going to be annoyed about some things that I bring up, but at the end of the day, it's my truth.
Who's going to be the most annoyed? Read that chapter to us. Just open up to that part and read that excerpt for us.
It's throughout the whole book.
Okay,
if I'm being honest.
Pick your favorite.
I can't do it.
You can't do it?
I can't do it. I can't do it. Because honestly, it's throughout the book. It's throughout the book.
Okay, well, when I read the book, I'll be like, oh yeah, that was probably one.
Yeah. I think you're gonna be like, oh, I see a pattern.
How long did it take you to write it?
I started the process my junior year of college. So by the time it's like officially out, like almost 3 years.
3 years? What was your process for writing? Did you have like a time set aside and a place you would go write?
Not really. I didn't really have like a place I would go to write. A lot of the times I would write like in my bed. I'd bring my laptop into my bed and I'd write in the morning or like at night before I go to bed. Because also I'm just like a really busy person, and also because of school, I was also writing sometimes while I was still in college. So I didn't have like...
should have been paying attention in class.
Exactly. So I had a lot of stuff to do during this time. So I think that's part of the reason why it took so long. And also too, I wanted to take my time with it because I knew that like I kind of have one shot to kind of get this right, get this how I feel. You know, I was very cautious about the wording of everything because, you know, I dive into some like serious topics, and I wanted to make sure that I articulate everything the way I really want it to be. I don't want anything to kind of get twisted or lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it, I think.
Of course, yeah.
How do you feel in this moment right now before it's released?
I'm very excited. I'm really ready for people to read it. I think it's gonna resonate with a lot of people, honestly. I've had such an amazing fan base over the years, and I've always gotten so many questions about my experience on the show and like how I felt about certain things. So now that I actually have this platform to share my experiences, share my journey, it feels like a full circle moment. And I know people have been like waiting for this. Even if they didn't know what was happening for a while, like they've been waiting for me to kind of like say something.
His mom read it?
Yes, my mom has read it.
What did she say?
She loves it. I mean,
perfect.
she's so proud. Both of my parents have read it. They're super proud.
No, it's a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not too many people can do that.
Thanks.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be an easy process, but it's been so rewarding already and hasn't even like come out yet.
Do you have thoughts about what the next one will be?
I'm not sure. I definitely want to write again in the future. I just don't know if I want it to be a novel. I don't know if I want to do like maybe like a self-help book, because I talk a lot about overcome obstacles and to persevere and, you know, just keeping your head up even when you're being knocked down, you know? So I don't exactly know which way I want to go, but definitely more to come eventually.
Yeah, when you have the idea, you'll have it.
Yeah.
You'll
yeah.
know.
hmm
You could do a self-help novel.
True, honestly, yeah. There's so
kinda-
many ways to kind of like blend it together, and yeah,
Publishers don't like that though.
I'm sure they don't.
They want the straight, easy line.
Right. But something different can always shake things up too.
Yeah. So you grow up in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and how do you end up being in? Is it competitive dance? Is that what
Yes.
you would call it?
Uh-huh.
Your mom. But clearly, the show is driven by moms, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. My mom technically was like the voice of reason on the show. Like, again, like she doesn't necessarily like drama.
But like, from what age were you dancing on the tables at family holiday?
I was
get-togethers?
2 when I started dance classes. But like my whole life, I've always loved a stage. Always loved to perform, always loved a stage. My dad like would go to events all the time, and sometimes when we'd go to events with him and he'd like do a speech or accept an award or something, and I'd always want to go up on stage with him and like want to take the mic and want to say something. I've always
what
been
did
that
Dad
child.
do?
That's a great question. Does anyone really know what their dad does for work?
Yeah. LeBron James's kids know what their dad does for
but
work.
like he wore a suit, went downtown every day. I'm joking. I know what he did. He worked at a nonprofit in Pittsburgh for a long time.
So you had to raise money?
Yes, exactly.
So the speeches were to move people to support?
Exactly. Yeah. So he would raise money for it was the Hill District in Pittsburgh. It was called the Hill House. When I was younger, he worked there, and then he worked for an insurance company, but now he actually has his own nonprofit now that basically, like, I think it's through CMU as well, or they partner with CMU, but they help Black people in Pittsburgh, or just like, they don't have to be Black, but like just people in Pittsburgh in general, like get executive leadership roles, because it's really hard. There, you see that there's like a disparity between the rate that Black people like make money and then their counterparts. So he's kind of like bridging that gap, and he has like a program, and it's really awesome. It's really cool. I love what he does. He helps a lot of people, and I feel like I get that side from him a lot, like philanthropy and just like kind of being a leader and helping people in like any way that they can. Like that man is always like on the phone with someone, like trying to help them out with something. Yeah, he's that kind of guy where people are like, Evan, like I have this event happening and I really would love your help. And he's that guy. He's like, yes, I got you.
That's great.
Yeah.
What is the recipe to bridging that gap?
A lot of it, I think, has to do with like mentorship and meeting the right people and being in the right rooms. So getting people to maybe like getting not just higher education, but like a master's or whatever they need to go to the next step, but then also connecting people with the right people, because it's hard. It's hard. It's a network.
Yeah, and then I guess maybe in a sense they see an example.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So people basically passing on the torch and people helping and lifting each up. Oh my gosh, and lifting each other up. Yeah.
That's great. So what does mom do?
My mom, so she was an educator when I was younger.
What grade?
Oh my gosh, she did a lot. She was actually my principal for a long time.
Did you get in trouble?
No, I didn't get in trouble. I think my older brother may have gotten in trouble once, but I didn't get in trouble.
No.
That would be your worst nightmare. Is you go to the principal's office and it's mom?
It really would be my worst nightmare. You do not want to be on Dr. Holly's bad side.
It's so funny. You've called your dad by his first name.
Yeah.
And your mom's Dr. Holly?
Yes. Yeah.
Not
You don't.
mom?
Yeah. No. You do. Yeah. No. Because she will set the record straight. Okay. She's not afraid to tell you she's from the Bronx. Okay. So, she was the principal of elementary school and middle school for a while in Pittsburgh, and then even before that, I think she taught like history, English, social studies, that sort of thing. But yeah, she's
going to heaven
incredible.
for sure. Anybody that will
She's amazing.
do that.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's a great teacher because when I was homeschooled 7th and 8th grade, she was like my humanities teacher, and she's great.
Wait, were you homeschooled because you were on a TV show?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because you seem like you probably would have preferred the social side of.
I loved school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably were pretty popular. And
Well, I don't know if I was really popular. High school was when I really started making friends, but I wouldn't say the same for like elementary school, really.
no?
Not really. I mean, my mom was the principal. I don't think people really
They're
like.
scared.
Maybe. I don't know.
Tell me what's going on in your life when this book comes into play.
Yeah. I was 21 when I first got introduced to the book. One of my good friends, Chloe Lukasiak, actually gifted it to me for my 21st birthday. And she wrote like a little note in it, and she was like, this book, I think like she loves that book and it changed her life and like her perspective on things. So she gave it to me because
What do you think
we're
she
both readers.
sensed?
I think because she's gone through a lot and she knows that I've gone through a lot. We have similar journeys, and the place that we were at in our life at this point, we were both living in LA and we're in college and just trying to kind of like figure things out. Yeah, I think that's kind of like the place. I feel like that's how you always just feel in your 20s, just like you're figuring stuff out and you're sometimes scared of being like perfect all the time. And as someone who's like a people pleaser, I struggle with trying to be perfect all the time, which I've been doing a better job of not doing that, but I'm still that person. So I think she probably kind of sensed that in me, and we're very similar in a lot of ways.
Is there an element of being competitive too that feeds into that?
Maybe it's competitiveness. I think for me, like, I'm just very competitive with myself. So like if I achieve something, I'm like, okay, well I can do more now. Like once I achieve something, I'm like, okay, what can I do now? I always like set the bar a little higher after like each.
I mean,
goal.
that's pretty healthy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
nothing.
So what is
too out
it
of
you're
the
trying to
ordinary.
figure out at 21?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't.
What do you think you're going to do with your life at 21? Like,
That's the thing. Like I don't know. At 21, I feel like I see so many opportunities and there's so much I want to do, but you can't necessarily do it all at the same time. Because I act, I'm a dancer. I sing as well. I wrote a book. I've directed. I've produced. So like I have like my hand in I was a college student. So like I have like my hands in a lot of different things. So it's kind of hard to kind of like stay focused and also just kind of prioritize yourself and make sure that what you're doing is your vision and you're not doing something to please someone else or to, I guess, because this book.
live somebody else's life.
Yeah. You just want to make sure that you have your priorities straight. And as you're taking on all these new avenues, like, yes, there are things that are interesting, but I guess that's part of being you're in your 20s as well. Like you try different things and see if they're for you and if you like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just kind of like figuring things out in that way where it's like trying new things, maybe seeing if that's for you or if it's not for you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't approach it that way. Like they put too much pressure on themselves.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I mean, the whole point of Untamed is like to figure out who you were before the world told you who you were supposed to be. That person inside is like, what do you want to do? And not like have these other pressures of the world telling you what you should be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's funny is this has never happened before, but you know the guest earlier today did the same book?
Oh my gosh, wait, today? Oh, I didn't realize that. That was today. Wow. Are you tired of talking about it?
No.
Okay, good.
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
But that's never happened. We've had the same book, you know, before, but never in the same day.
It's a really impactful book. I remember after I was done reading it, there was a shift. Like my mind, like I felt it. Like something clicked a little bit more. You know, when people have been telling me recently that when you're 25, you feel like your frontal lobe develop. And my frontal lobe has not technically developed yet, but I feel like I got closer after that.
It expanded a little?
Yeah, it expanded for sure. For sure, yeah.
So she gives it to you for your 21st birthday, writes you a note, and then how long until you start reading it?
I think I started reading it like immediately.
And how long did it take you to finish it?
I don't remember. It didn't take long. It didn't take long.
Ate it up?
Yeah, probably like a couple weeks.
Do you remember the first thing that like clicked where you're like, oh, this is good?
It's been so long since I read it, but I think it was just like her writing and how honest she was. She talks about a lot of different things. And the thing is, like, I'm not like Glennon Doyle in like the slightest bit. Like we're very different people, but her journey and the way she talks about her journey makes me feel really connected to it and makes me see like similarities in kind of like how our brains work, I feel, more than like ours.
Human?
Just human. Yeah, just being human and like very unfiltered. Very unfiltered.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through some of it.
Okay, let's do it.
So grab the first tab there.
Okay.
And then read it, and then so it should be page 6. Did you? By the way, just quick question: Did you read your Audible book for this?
I did.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, I did. That was really cool, actually. Yeah.
It's so much better when it's the author.
Yeah, it felt so good to read it. Like,
did it change your relationship with it?
For sure. It always felt like my story, but after reading it out loud, like the whole thing, front to back, credits and everything, wow. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff here, girl. Like, even as I was reading it, like, I would get emotional. Like, there were parts where I was starting to kind of get choked up because I was like, wow, like, it's so powerful, but I'm like, it's literally me. Like, it's crazy. It's a very surreal experience to kind of do that. And then because also you're listening to yourself while you're recording it. So if you actually hear my voice while I'm saying it, it's very interesting. Yeah.
So now you're gonna be Doyle.
Okay. I'll try my best. Okay. I looked hard at my faith, my friendships, my work, my sexuality, my entire life, and asked, how much of this was my idea? Do I truly want any of this? Or is this what I was conditioned to want? Which of my beliefs are of my own creation and which were programmed into me? Yeah. I think because that's literally page 6. And I feel like that quote kind of like really sets this book up because I had no idea what this kind of book was going to be. And although, yes, it's her story, but it is like a self-help book as well. I think it's both, honestly. I feel like a lot of the times, especially at 21, I hadn't really thought about like my faith, friendships, work, even sexuality, like any of those aspects as being something that like someone told me I had to do. Like I hadn't realized like, oh, well, let me make sure that all of these things are truly me and not someone just like forcing certain beliefs or traditions or whatever onto me. So yeah, I think that was kind of like the first time where I realized, wow, I actually don't have to. I don't have to do what everyone else is doing, and I don't have to like conform to.
Yeah, I think she calls them cages, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's called like Untamed. So yeah.
So what were there specific things that came to mind when you were reading that was like, oh, maybe those beliefs aren't really mine?
I've always been very in tune with who I am and like my identity, but I think I just learned a lot about not putting that pressure on myself to know everything all at once, kind of giving myself that freedom to not explore and just like not have everything figured out. I think that was like another thing, especially because I went to school, and for me, I didn't necessarily have to go to college for what I want to do. I did not have to go to college. Of course, my parents wanted me to go, but it was a personal choice of mine that I felt like I wanted to do. And even making that choice was very nerve-wracking for me, because in my head, I was like, if I go to college, am I going to stunt my growth in other areas, like my career? Because I had been acting, I had been doing some public speaking, I had been doing a lot of stuff within the entertainment industry, and I'm like, am I going to slow down my momentum? And is that something I want to do? So I guess like having that, you're just like not sure that this is the right decision. Like it feels like the right decision, but you don't know it's the right decision until you kind of like follow through with it. And I can say now that yes, that's like the best decision I've ever made. But at the time, you know, when I'm surrounded by my peers and they're doing great things as well, and you know, they didn't have to go to college, they're not paying tuition, they're getting to do all these other things, which are amazing. And you just realize like, okay, well, I didn't necessarily have to go down this route, but I'm happy I did. I learned so much about myself, and I think I really needed it too. I needed that kind of normalcy in that space, in that environment, to actually kind of like grow into myself and figure out what I really wanted to do as well. Because I always wanted to write a book about my journey on Dance Moms. But since going to college and learning like really how to write, how to think critically, how, you know, I learned that I think writing is another path of mine, not just for this book, but for other things as well, which I wasn't really thinking about before, because I think a lot of people, especially like in entertainment, a lot of people didn't understand why I went to college. A lot of them were like, yeah, girl, like, I don't know how or why you're really doing that, because you don't need to. But it was a personal choice. And also, it was, it made me just like a really well-rounded person. And I figured out things that I really love to do. I figured out things that I don't like to do. One of them is writing. And another one is like even my relationship with dance. Like I figured out that I love dancing still. And like my relationship post Dance Moms has been very like kind of back and forth. It's kind of like ebbs and flows. But when I went to college, I realized, oh, I still love to dance, even if I'm not dancing on like a professional stage, you know? And having like that piece for myself was really nice. Sorry, that was like such a long-winded answer, but like it just connects with so many things for me. Just figuring out what really is for me and what's not. What choices are mine and what choices are other people's.
Okay, 12. Okay. Page 12.
I picked up a red bottle from what was clearly my son's side. It was tall, rectangular, bulky. It yelled at me in bold red, white, and blue letters. 3x bigger, doesn't rob you of your dignity. Armor up in man scent. Dropkick dirt, then slam odor with a folding chair. I thought, what the hell? Is my son taking a shower or preparing for war in here? I picked up one of the girls' slim, metallic pink bottles. Instead of barking, marching orders at me, that bottle in cursive, flowy font, whispered disconnected adjectives. Alluring, radiant, gentle, pure, illuminating, enticing, touchable, light, creamy. Not a verb to be found. Nothing to do here. Just a list of things to be. I think that speaks to a lot of different things, honestly. I know that for a lot of like gendered items, like even when you're like a little kid, like a lot of the toys you see for girls are like cooking, cleaning, all those. And then for the boys, it's like trucks or sharks or like, you know, I guess sometimes violence, like sometimes they have like little like army stuff. It's like, are you going to war? Like you're a child. Yeah, I think that from these quotes, you kind of just take how the world works a little bit, and you kind of see clearly these differences of these gender norms and these gender roles that even from a young age we are told that we have to be a certain way.
Yeah, there's a little bit too of like on the female side, it's like the marketing, if you call that marketing, is
Right.
like to be seen but not heard.
Right.
With the boys, it's like to be heard. Like,
Yeah, to be heard, to
like
be seen,
folding
and
chair.
heard. Yeah, for sure. Definitely makes an impact. And I mean, even if you look at the writing, like the boy part is in bold, and then
Yeah,
even when she
screaming.
talks, it's screaming, and then when you talk about the girl part, it's like it's quiet, it's tame.
Yeah, it's funny. Let's go to 34.
Okay. I need an excuse to be there. So I ask, anybody hungry? What comes next seems to unfold in slow motion. Every single boy keeps his eyes on the TV and says, yes. The girls are silent at first. Then each girl diverts her eyes from the television screen and scans the faces of the other girls. Each looks to a friend's face to discover if she herself is hungry. Yeah. I feel like this is I think this one is interesting because I feel like as women, we do that a lot. It's like, well, are you hungry? I'll be hungry if you're hungry, or like, I'll eat if we're always thinking about other people's feelings and how they feel. And for me, personally, I kind of put other people's like needs above mine, working on that. But I do. It's just naturally who I am when I'm with like friends, family. I'm like, I want them to be happy. Or I mean, maybe you're conditioned like that. And I think for me, growing up in a space where I was like always trying to like please one person in particular, which was like my dance teacher, because she was really hard on us. Anyway, there's a lot of that in the book. But I feel like I was always seeking validation or even doing anything to kind of like make any like people happy, you know? And I feel like this quote can kind of I can kind of relate to it in a way where it's like, oh, like I don't have to be hungry if like other people aren't hungry. I can keep playing, or like I can keep doing whatever I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny too, you know, what I thought of when you were reading that is how many times I've been at dinner and all the women go to the bathroom together.
Yeah.
Like, I always want to go and see what's going on. Because it's not like, do you have to go? Do you have to go? They're just like,
right.
I'm going to the bathroom. And then they all just stand up and leave.
Yes.
And then what are they doing in there for? Like, why? Guys don't do that.
Yeah, guys don't do that.
I would feel so weird to like take a pack of guys to the bathroom. I just want to get back. It's not an event. It's kind of like my parents live in the country. And whenever I'm there, it's like, you know, we're going into town. Like, you ask the neighbors, like, we're going into town. It's an event.
Yeah.
You want us to get you something at the store?
Yes. It's an experience. It's
what's going on in there?
You know, it's kind of like part of girlhood in a way. And that's one thing where it's like, you're not really taught that, but like for some reason, it's just.
Yeah.
Because also I feel like a lot of the times it's kind of like your checkup session with the girls, you know? Sometimes the ladies will go together because it's like, girl, I'm not feeling well, or it's like, do you have X, Y, and Z? Do you, are you feeling this dinner? Like, I don't know. It's kind of like maybe like a wellness check or like a check-in almost. And sometimes moral support, I don't know.
Yeah, but like if I was at dinner and I wasn't feeling it, I would just like figure out how to get out of there. Like I wouldn't look for
Yeah.
validation.
Right, and I guess
Just be
we
like, "It's not
definitely do.
happening."
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like, did you catch that? Maybe. I don't
Yeah, it's more
know.
tribal.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
How about 52?
Pain is not tragic. Pain is magic. Suffering is tragic. Suffering is what happens when we avoid pain and consequently miss our becoming. I think that's really good. I agree. And I think like this resonates a lot with me related in relation to my book as well, or just like my life story, because I endured a lot of pain, like physically, mentally, during those periods in my life. And I know a lot of people are like, that's so sad, that's so tragic. I've had people tell me like it was really hard for them to watch certain things that happened to me at certain points, which yes, some of those things that I lived through were hard, really challenging, and were painful and hurtful, you know? But I also believe at the same time that all those challenges made me who I am today. And without some of those challenges, I wouldn't have been able to like learn the lessons I learned. And I've grown so much. And so like pain is not tragic. I resonate with that. Like pain doesn't have to be tragic, but suffering is. Because you don't have to, even if things are painful, you don't always have to like suffer through it all the way. It's kind of like reframing your brain to take certain moments in your life where you feel defeated and turn it into a positive. It's like what you make. I mean, people say like, you know, like you make lemonade out of lemons, you know, you have what you have and you make the most of what you have. And that's definitely my experience. I felt like I made the most of what I had, even though some of those things were painful.
I mean, in a sense, this book is kind of a shift in perspective.
Yes, yeah, for
and
sure.
then permission to write your own story.
Yes, exactly.
Because you can see it as suffering, but in a lot of situations, not all situations,
No,
but
yeah,
in a
not
lot,
all.
it is a choice.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's good to kind of like reframe things in that way, because you miss out. I mean, if everyone was happy and won everything all the time and got everything they wanted all the time, they miss out on the whole journey. They miss out on all those steps, all those lessons.
Well, also the wins don't mean as much.
Exactly.
If you haven't ever lost. You got to lose to really appreciate a win.
Exactly. And that's been my story. I mean, I've won in a lot of different ways, but growing up and not really like winning at dance competitions a lot or getting as many opportunities as other people, like it is sometimes painful and it hurts, but also at the same time, it made me stronger. It made me work harder. It made me think more critically. It made me want it more.
In that process, you probably knew yourself better too.
Absolutely.
Because you learn a lot about yourself when you go to war.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I learned a lot about myself. Even if some of those thoughts didn't fully form, or like if I didn't quite understand them back then, I still had kind of like this underlying like knowing of like who I was and this understanding of me.
Do you have any sense of where you got your positive outlook? Like, was it something your parents did, or?
I think it's really my parents. Yeah. They both have just been through a lot. You know, my grandparents. I come from a family of really amazing people who have done extraordinary things. Having them kind of just like always remind me. I mean, my name is Nia, and in Swahili, it means purpose. Like my parents would always remind me that you have purpose. And anytime I would feel down, my parents would always lift me up and tell me to look at things like the bright side of things, or if there was something that if I was in the wrong, or if something happened where other people have hurt me, they tell me to either one, brush it off if it's not if it's something that's like little. But in other cases, when these issues are large, they tell it to me how it is, and we work through it together, and we figure out a way to combat this issue. They've always been the people to tell me, like, don't back down from a fight. I think I've always just taken that with me. I feel like, I'm a very optimistic person. I really am. And for how many times I've been, like, beaten down, or, like, people have truly tried to bring me down and have, like, tried to dim my light, I keep coming back. And even if that light gets dim, and it's gotten dim, it's gotten non-existent. But at the same time, I've had people in my life lift me back up. And just also for myself, I've taken the time because I wanted to get back to the place where I'm my optimistic self again.
That's like
I've always
water
had it in
finding
me.
even ground.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be different in different phases of your life. And in this phase of my life, I'm very happy, I'm very confident, I'm very optimistic and positive. But I think it's also because I've seen everything that I've gone through, and every single time I've conquered it. Every single time I've gotten over that hump.
And it didn't kill you.
And it didn't kill me. And I've been
You
okay.
learned something, even if it didn't go the way you wanted.
It's like all this stuff happened, but I still have been able to come out whole and like this.
And so in a sense, you've seen that seeing the positive thing or reframing the positive thing works, and so you've patterned that.
Yeah.
And it's become a habit.
It's become a habit.
Or like your natural default setting.
Yeah, of course. And I think also
But
just
most people don't
I know. It's
most
like
people
not the
just
norm.
love to like sit in it.
Yeah.
When it's the suffering, right?
Yeah. And that was like
Some people, the suffering is home.
yes.
Don't you have friends like that?
Yeah. Even for me, I do think we all have a little bit of that in us. I do. I mean, sometimes I do complain. Sometimes I'm like, oh. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to get back up and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to keep
No, I'm
getting there.
referencing like that's the default.
Oh, like the default?
Like that
Yeah.
feels like home to some people.
It does. It does feel like home to some people. But I think that's another reason why I try to kind of like share my optimism and positivity with everyone else, because I want everyone to kind of feel this way. I want everyone to feel confident and comfortable and happy in their own skin. And I know for like this book, because there are parts that are really heavy, I didn't want it to be a sob story. That was like the last thing I wanted it to be. But like it easily could have been a sob story and be like, feel bad for me. This happened to me and I'm hurt. It's like, okay, all those things are important and that's part of my story, and I want to get that out. But at the same time, I don't want people to think that like you can't come back up from that. That just because that happened to you, it defines you for the rest of your life. Like it doesn't. And life does move on, and life does get better. And you are in control of your future and in your path and the way you react to things and what you exude into the world. Like you're in charge of yourself. You can't control what other people do, but you can control what you do. And
to the point where you can control your attitude,
exactly,
your thoughts, like
exactly.
There's
and I mean, we're all human, so
yeah, but
you can control all of that.
You can control how you show up to a situation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, and I'm gonna get way more out of it if I turn these experiences into a positive instead of like harping on it all the time, or not even harping on it. Just like if you let that take over your life, it's very draining.
So one thing she talks about in the book, and I'm curious because you're a people pleaser, or you've described yourself as a people pleaser.
Yeah.
She talks in there quite a bit about prioritizing yourself, and even to the point, like if you're not disappointing other people, you're not doing it right, basically.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Right.
Being a people pleaser, do you think, well, there's two kinds of people pleasers. There's the ones that just are okay with the idea that their gift is to take care of others.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, it's like a leadership position.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that see being a people pleaser as being subservient.
Right. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both for me. I think just like as women, we are just kind of, again, conditioned to people please and to make others happy and to find solutions to everyone's problems and to do all of that. But also I know that like just for myself, I am just that way. Like I like to help people, and sometimes it's hard to like differentiate the two because they are different. They are different. And I think more now what I'm working towards is to make sure that when I'm trying to go out of my way and do something for someone that maybe isn't the easiest for me, but I still do it. I still bend in half to try and make something work. I don't think that that's like an awful trait to have. I think you just kind of have to make it work for you and learn what's too much and what's, you have to have those boundaries. And that's something that I'm like literally still working on today, like to this day, because as a people pleaser, I don't think you're ever not going to be one, because I don't like seeing people in pain, or like I don't like, if I know I can help someone, like I want to help that person, especially if it's someone I love. But I do recognize that like there is that difference, but I think it can be a superpower too. I guess maybe.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, it's magic. Like,
yeah, like
it could be your magic. So,
yeah.
how do you rationalize or work through the boundary part? And let me just kind of set it up a little bit. Is so you could invest in somebody, and let's just say that person is just generally bad. Like, let's say you have a habit of dating people, because you're gonna fix them, but they don't want to be fixed.
They don't want to be fixed. Yeah.
So that can be a bad.
Yeah, and then you have to learn like, okay, boundaries, and you have to kind of.
Let's not recruit fixer-uppers.
Yes.
Let's pick somebody who shares my same sensibility. So that would be a healthy boundary.
For sure.
In a sense.
For sure. Yeah.
But then there's also the people that say, oh, I'm a people pleaser. I give. But what they really mean is it's a ransom note, and their giving is with an expectation that isn't met on the other end. So like, oh, I've given so much, and then I text you and you don't text me right back. And it's like, well, I was like, hold on. I appreciate what you did, but I didn't know that I was supposed to stand with my phone and immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's like a ransom note. It's like, no, really, I'm giving this because I want to control you.
Right, yeah.
In a sense. And so that comes in all kinds of different.
Right, because you're trying to like get control over. It's sometimes a control thing.
Yeah, so like people are like, oh, I'm such a good friend. I always get taken advantage of, and you're like, okay, you're keeping scores. Your idea of friendship is trading. Yeah, and so you give something, but there was never any sort of conversation that it came with hooks.
Yeah, and at the same time, more friendships should be both ways, but like any kind of relationships, yes, it should be like. It should be coming from like two people, like the same, but also it's not going to be that way all the time because we're human.
Well, also a good friend doesn't keep score.
And also a good friend does not keep score. I'm definitely more like the first one. So, not like in that scenario. Okay, like not the scenario with the guy thing, but I'm more of that.
Have you ever tried to save him, like fix him?
What, like
in dating? Like, have you ever tried to fix somebody?
I don't think I've dated enough people to answer that question.
You don't have time to date?
I have dated, but I feel like in this phase of my life, I cannot do that right now.
No time?
No time. And like with so much happening, like all of my energy which has been so nice, kind of like just on me, and having these moments where I can just take care of myself. And I'm trying to people please myself now and trying to take better care of myself, because the only way I can.
It's a high bar.
I know.
You're high maintenance when it comes to pleasing yourself.
The only way, what I'm learning from my therapist has been, I can't really take care of other people until I like actually take care of myself. Like I can't pour into people if I have nothing, And so I'm trying to like go off of that.
I'm curious how that works out.
Now, yeah, it's been working out better.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been good. I've been taking more time for myself in like, evenings, mornings, having a little bit of time for myself, even if it's just like waking up a little earlier to work out by myself, waking up a little earlier so I can have a few minutes to read and drink my tea before I start my day. It's little things like that that actually do add up and make an impact on my day, where I feel like I can actually pour into other people because I've given that time and space for myself.
Yeah, it makes you more creative too, right?
It does.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you think about the love yourself thing?
The love myself thing?
Do you think you need to love yourself?
I do love myself. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by love yourself?
People are always like, oh, I'm working on loving myself. I always think that's like too high of a bar.
Yeah.
I'm like, then you're going to break up with yourself?
No, I
just
think
like yourself, root for yourself.
I think it is good to love yourself. I am that kind of person,
I don't think I love myself. I like myself.
I feel like you should. I think you should like and love yourself.
I feel like love is too high of a bar.
For yourself?
Yeah, I need to be more self-critical. I
can still love myself and have tough love for myself.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because the people that I love
it seems easier in the middle than.
Yeah, but that's why it's easy. We strive. You see how I am? I'm always striving.
That's great.
I'm an overachiever, low-key.
But yeah, I'm still learning too. But
yeah,
I've just found that, and too, when I've done workshops and I've said that a few times, the whole room is like, oh, thank you. Because they're so caught up in this idea that they got to love themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just like yourself. Nobody's so special.
Well, I do believe in that too.
And people are like, oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's bring it down a little. We're not all so great.
I think it's good to love yourself and to also realize that you're not that special too.
What's
it's
love?
Good.
What's love?
What's love?
Does anyone know? You gotta love yourself. You gotta know what it is.
Okay, what love is to me is taking care. Love is, in my opinion, more like an action or a verb. You're taking care, or it's a lot about caring and making sure that you're okay. So when I say I love myself, that just means that I respect the way I feel. I respect even the way I feel, even if I'm feeling something weird or not that great, or being very in tune with yourself and knowing kind of what you need as well. Yeah. But
for most people, love is an external thing. They fall into love. They trip into it's.
I have a lot of love in me for myself and other people.
Yeah, but I think that's a default setting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's empathy and caring.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Yeah. Not being less judgmental and accepting people for who they are.
For who they are, yeah. And I think that that's important. And I think no one's perfect. No one's perfect, but that doesn't mean that you can't love someone even if they're not that great of a person.
Maybe care about them?
Care, but I still there's some people that I love, but I love them, but I'm not necessarily caring about what they're doing in life, but I have love for them and I extend that from afar.
Yeah, I have that crazy uncle.
Yeah, it's I love you.
Yeah, but let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great question though. What is love? But I'm actually reading this.
Well, I think it's funny when people are love yourself, and then I'm what is love? And they're oh, well. And then
loving yourself just isn't being it's good to be hard. I don't know. It's a balance.
For a lot of people, you kind of have a different disposition than most people.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, it's they say this thing I'm just working on loving myself. And you're hold on. Let's just pull it down a little.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to, let's just like, let's just talk about where we're at right now, and let's
Right.
make a plan with what we control.
Yeah.
And let's manufacture some wins.
Yeah.
But it's a self-esteem thing in a sense.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
see
more
that.
important to have high self-esteem
Yeah.
than to love yourself. To believe in yourself.
Don't they kind of go hand in hand though? No?
I don't know. Maybe I'm broken. I don't know. I just don't feel
Not broken.
I don't feel any need to love myself. I like myself, but I don't think that I'm so great that I mean, I admire other people way more than I admire myself.
I think that's common though.
Well, I think if I loved myself, it would be the other way. Like, I'm still trying to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a
Because
ways
I
to go.
admire a lot of people, and I look up to a lot of people who I feel like are doing like amazing things, who like there's always going to be someone better at something.
Well,
Always.
everybody is better at one thing, you know.
Yeah.
There's something they're good at.
Exactly. But I think like that idea of like loving yourself is just like at the end of the day, like no matter what happens, like knowing that like liking yourself and loving yourself, I get it, but like I get the difference, but also they do kind of go hand in hand. Like I like myself, but I also like I really love the kind of like who I am as a person, you know, because I try my best to do my best.
Yeah, no,
But I do, but like
you radiate that.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying though.
I could describe it as really good parenting and self-esteem also.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I don't know.
So you're not going to buy my book for the love of God? Stop trying to love yourself.
I absolutely will. Because it's good to have perspective on these things. Absolutely.
I just think a lot of people have they've been through some stuff, especially as kids, and then everybody talks about loving yourself, and they're trying to do this thing that it's too far out and too unexplainable. Like, they don't understand what love is. They've never even been in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, but I think that's part of just
well, that's another thing. Okay, I know what you're going to say, but I think you have to give love to get love. And if you're just loving yourself, it makes you miserable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You have to give to get.
For sure.
You're way better off giving, like, if you're, like, there's that, who was it? Great quote of basically, if you're miserable, drop everything and go volunteer helping other people. And it will instantly fix that.
Yeah, it helps, for sure. Absolutely.
So provide some value for others.
Yeah.
And in that, you kind of learn about yourself, I think. But if you're just trying to please yourself, that's hard.
No. I feel like people just have to have more love in general.
For
like,
sure.
Just
more validation.
Yeah, just like more love in general. Like, yes, for yourself, but then also for other people. And like, I get, like, for me, again, like loving myself is like learning to know when something's like good for you and like when something's not good for you. Like loving yourself is, you're bringing up about the point about being with like dating guys that, you know, you're trying to fix. Okay, well, I love myself enough to not get into a relationship like that because I know that that's not good for me. It's like having that.
Yeah, that's very healthy.
That's what I see as loving yourself. And I know you don't think this, but to make it very clear, I don't mean loving yourself in a way to like boost like your ego and like make you feel like you're better than everyone else, because that's not the point of love. It's just love is meant to be shared as well. But just because you feel like other people deserve to be loved doesn't mean that you don't also deserve love. And also, if you're not in a relationship or if you're not dating or you don't have like a ton of friends that are like always, you know, giving you love, like then where are you getting this love from? You need some kind of love. Gotta love yourself.
Just my personal experience is like, if you don't have a lot of friends, you got to learn how to be a friend.
Okay, true.
And so if you don't have a lot of love, you got to start loving others.
Yeah.
But you won't love yourself into having good friends. Like, it's the other way around. You got to give.
It depends. Because sometimes people don't love themselves enough, and that's really hard to be around. when people don't like and love themselves, that's a lot too.
Yeah, but I would contend that the thing that will help them the most is to have a friend.
Yes, but what if it's hard to get friends because they don't love themselves?
Yeah, you got to give to get. That's what I'm saying. That's my perspective.
The point is, we all need love.
For sure.
Yeah, because I've been through periods of my life where I didn't have that many friends, and it's not necessarily because of anything, really. Like, I was working so much of my childhood, and then like I didn't have a traditional childhood where I could have like a lot of friends at school. I was like in this one environment where I was here, you know? So it's like when you don't have that, like, yes, I have my mom, but it's like you also need you kind of have to like build yourself up. And that's part of having that love for yourself. Like I love myself enough where I'm gonna reach out to other people. I'm gonna do what I can for myself so that I can give to other people. But I know like love is so broad. It's so broad, and I get it. But yeah, anyway, I forgot where we were going with this.
You gotta love yourself.
Gotta love
That's the point.
yourself.
Yeah, page 117.
Okay.
What does self-love mean to you?
Self-love means that I have a relationship with myself built on trust and loyalty. I trust myself to have my own back, so my allegiance is to the voice within. I'll abandon everyone else's expectations of me before I'll abandon myself. I'll disappoint everyone else before I'll disappoint myself. I'll forsake all others before I'll forsake myself. Me and myself. We are till death do us part. I agree. Because it's like, if you don't have your own back, if you don't trust yourself to make good choices for yourself, if you don't have that trust, it's also about trust. Love is a lot of different things. It's a lot of different things. And the thing is, like, as a people pleaser, like, I don't ever want to disappoint other people, but also at the same time, I know that if something's good for me and better for me and something that I actually need, sometimes it's okay to disappoint people. And having that love for myself to not overextend or to not share my story. Like, I love myself too much to not share my story. I know there's a lot of people that I'm going to make mad with this book. I know that. I'm probably going to lose friends over it. I'm probably, like, I understand that. But I also, and if that's selfish, so be it. But I do think that because I love myself so much, I'm able to share my story. Where it's like, if I didn't love myself, if I wasn't in tune with myself like that, I'd be so scared of what other people would think and like try and like hold back. But
yeah, and I think if you just shift that to other parts of life, is if you're not true to yourself and truthful, you live somebody else's life.
Yeah, and it's not intentionally hurting.
No, just being authentic to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think shifting it that way has helped me a lot, where it's like, maybe I've had a really long week, 0 sleep, the brink of getting sick. You know what I mean? And, maybe it's like my friends are all hanging out and we had this date set, but like I'm genuinely like almost ill. It's like my friends will be upset if I cancel. Well, my friends probably wouldn't be because they're good friends.
No, I understand.
But like, if I had to cancel because I'm physically almost ill, then I'm going to have to do that. Like, I'm going to do that because I love myself enough to give myself the space to heal before I go do that. Because if I go and do that, I'm actually probably going to get sick, and then I'm not going to be a good time because I have no energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like reframing it. I think self-love is truly reframing your perspective on things too,
Yeah.
to make
I
things
mean, it's partially telling the
work for you.
truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being authentic to who you are. And
Yeah.
yeah. So on 145, she talks about touch tree, like your core belief.
Core belief is like we should be kinder to one another, or like, it's again like the love thing, like
Especially today when everybody's so polarized.
like
And
we
it's
just
like,
have to
we're human first.
we're human
We
first.
have more in common than we have differences.
Yeah. And I think that's a true, like, a core belief of mine, to have purpose and to be of service. It's a core belief of mine. To always try and do the right thing, try not to intentionally hurt other people.
Yeah.
Some core ones.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Okay, 254. Unless you find something that you want to read. But
254. There comes a point where we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in. Yeah, that's a good one.
like, I think a lot of what we do is treating the symptom, not the cause.
Yeah,
Like
you got to get to the core of it.
Yeah,
the core
like
of the
healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'd rather prescribe and monetize something and keep them on the medication than, hey, you should stop eating that way and go for a walk every once in a while. Or I know that simplifies it, but
I understand. Yeah, for
same
sure.
thing with our investments in schools. Like we don't prioritize schools.
No.
And it's a completely different, experience for kids in different areas that you live in.
Mm-hmm.
And then those kids come out and feel disenchanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then we treat them for anxiety and all this other stuff when, hey, maybe it was having two parents at home and investing more in schools with smaller class sizes, better after school programs.
Yeah, I agree. I think that a lot of times we're treating things, but not actually getting down to the core thing. Like you said, I feel like that speaks to a lot of what's happening right now. We're putting a Band-Aid over things, but some of these systems are broken.
Yeah, and we use those symptoms to divide us, and when we really want the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. So it's a powerful quote.
It's good. So, big question. How did Untamed by Glennon Doyle change your life?
It changed my life because it got me to think critically, but like about when it comes to myself. I think of myself as a pretty critical thinker, but I think a lot of the times I kind of just did what not that sounds so like ridiculous, but like not did what people told me to do, but like just going with the motions because maybe everyone else is doing it. But it taught me how to kind of like think critically for myself. And yes, to put myself first, taught me about self-love. I think that's probably not the start of my self-love journey. I started a long time ago. But it definitely helped me just think about what I truly needed and less about what other people would think of me. Yeah. And to also, like, the title's Untamed, but yeah, like to not hold yourself back, to kind of be whatever you want to be. Like, I know that sounds so like cliche, but it's true. Like, I feel like a lot of the times, like for me, I always try to be like put together. My friends, like, they all think of me as like the strong, put together friend. Like, so whenever I do have a time where I'm like low key losing it, they're always like, this is so not so unlike you. Like, this isn't really like but it's like, it is me. It is me. I'm not always perfect. I'm not always put together. I'm messy, but I also am all those things. Like, I can be all those things, and that's okay. I don't always have to be okay.
You don't always have to fit into a cage.
I don't always have to fit into a cage. Don't always have to fit into a box. I can make my own path, my own box. But I probably won't even make my own box because I'm just gonna step out of it. Yeah.
No, it's great. What advice would you give somebody younger on just how to be authentic and whatever, definition someone have of success.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just money, but just feeling successful.
Yeah, for sure. Like one of my kind of like quotes that I tell people is starting your own life. That's kind of like the subtitle to it, starring in my own life. I think that it's really important for people to realize that like they are important. I think a lot of people don't think that they're important, or just because they're not the lead in something, or because they feel overshadowed, or like the underdog, that they're not successful, that they're not capable of doing amazing things. And it's not true. You have to like stand in your light, and also at the same time, like, you have the power to dictate your life. Like, no one gets to tell you how to live your life, even if they try to. At the end of the day, that is your job and it's your journey. You have to start in your own life. Don't let someone else be the center of your life, because it's not their life. So no matter like what you do, like whatever you're going through, even because for me, a lot of our dances, I was in the back of the dance and people are always trying to hide me, trying to dim my light, trying to tell me I'm not important. And you have to know that you have to just know that all of that is just noise. And you have to stay true to yourself and understand that they don't get to decide what you do in your life. That's meant for you.
What are your top 5 books? Is this number 1?
I think that would be number 1 for me.
What would be 2?
Number 2, Token Black Girl by Danielle Prescott. Fabulous book. That's a memoir as well. I do love a memoir because I am a romance girly. I would say Instructions for Dancing. That's a Nicola Yoon book. I also love, it's called The Gunkle. I forgot who it's by though. It's so good. I just love a fun little story. And a new favorite of mine is Emily Henry. I've read like 4 of her books now. And the last one I read was Happy Place. And I'll put that one on the list for right now. I'm definitely missing some as well, but that's a really great book. Oh, also Life in Motion by Misty Copeland. That's a memoir. Incredible. Her journey is incredible.
It was great.
Amazing.
Super fun.
We are so excited to announce the Books That Changed My Life website. We made a way for you to show your book pride and that you love books. Hats, tees, hoodies. Check it out. Link in the description. Everybody needs a self-help hat.